Welcome to the deep dive. It's funny how we humans, we seem hardwired to categorize things, right? To find patterns,
hmm
especially when looking at ancient wisdom. We always look for these structures.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to see the connections.
And today, we're diving into some really fascinating ancient texts that do exactly that. They consistently present these profound teachings in, well, powerful pairs.
It's a great way to put it.
We're calling this deep dive The Power of Two. The idea is to explore how these fundamental aspects of morality, community, even personal growth, they're laid out not as single ideas, but as these interconnected
A
pairs.
very elegant structure,
It
actually.
really is. Surprisingly modern in a way.
And these sources, they likely come from the Tathagata, the Buddha, covering both the teachings, the Dhamma, and the discipline, the Vinaya.
Yeah.
And they just keep coming back to this idea of two things.
Two things.
Whether it's qualities or reasons or methods, it's about understanding the implications of each part of the pair. It makes complex ideas quite accessible, you know?
Right, so let's start unpacking that. At the individual level, how did these texts kick things off with these pairs? You mentioned qualities.
Yeah, exactly. They start with our inner world, basically. The texts identify two unwholesome qualities. Uh, Akusala Dhamma is the term.
Vipassanā Dhamma, okay.
And then, naturally, they present their opposites, the two wholesome qualities. Kusala Dhamma.
Makes sense. So what are some examples? What are these unwholesome pairs they highlight?
Well, they give some really insightful examples, like they pair anger, kodho, with resentment, upanaho.
Anger and resentment.
Yeah, you can see the connection, right? Resentment is kind of like anger that's just been sitting there festering.
Yeah, it definitely builds. Okay, what else?
Then there's denigration, mako, paired with envy or malice, palaso.
Denigration and envy. Interesting.
And jealousy, isa, that's linked with stinginess or miserliness, macharianka.
Okay, I can see that link too.
Then deceit, maya, goes with fraud or dishonesty, sayan.
Deceit and fraud.
Right. And the last pair they often list is shamelessness, ahitakanya, combined with the fearlessness of wrongdoing, basically having no moral dread. That's anotapanya.
Wow. That's quite a list. It really shows how these negative things can feed off each other.
Exactly. It's like a diagnostic tool.
Yeah.
And it's not just a list of bad stuff.
Right, there are consequences.
Definitely. The sources are very clear. These unwholesome pairs, they're blameworthy, sabaja. They lead to suffering, dukurai.
The suffering.
And they have suffering as a result, dukkavipaka. They're also called afflictive or oppressive, sabipaja.
So pretty direct outcomes described there.
Very direct. And the wholesome pairs, completely the opposite. They're blameless, anavaja.
Very well.
They lead to happiness, sukadrai, have happiness as a result, sukhavipaka, and they're non-afflictive, avipacha.
That contrast is striking. It gives you a really clear framework for, like, self-reflection.
It really does. What stands out to you about how they're paired up like that and those consequences?
For me, it's just how interconnected they feel.
Yeah.
You know, how easily one bad habit or feeling can lead to another, creating this downward spiral. Seeing it laid out is, well, it's practical. And this systematic approach, does it just apply to us as individuals, or does it extend outwards, like to community?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where, for me, it gets even more fascinating.
Okay.
The second set of sources we looked at, they shift focus entirely from the inner landscape to the blueprint for a community.
Right, like rules and structure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It talks about establishing rules, procedures within a group. And here's the amazing part. Almost every single rule or procedure mentioned is established for the exact same two reasons.
Wait, every single one, for the same two reasons.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Across huge amounts of text. It's this incredible pattern.
So things like the basic training rules, the Sakapata.
Yep. And communal things like the Patimokkha,
Yeah.
the recitation of the rules,
Right.
and even the formal compa procedures for discipline or ordination,
Yeah.
all of them.
All justified with the same pair of reasons. That sounds like a very deliberate design.
It really does. And there are actually 10 recurring pairs of reasons. But the consistency is what's stunning.
10 pairs. Okay, give us a flavor. What are some of these dual aims?
Well, one key pair is that every rule is for the proper functioning, the sort of excellence of the community, saiglas utsikaya.
Okay, makes sense. Efficiency, quality.
And D, for the comfort and well-being of the community, sagavasutaya. So it's not just about function, it's also about care.
Function and care. I like that. Always a dual benefit.
Always. And another pair focuses on behavior. The rules are there to restrain, unruly individuals.
Handle the difficult members.
Right. Dumakuna pugalane nigahaya. And D, also to ensure the comfortable living of the well-behaved members. Pesalana biknu fosovihara.
So managing problems while supporting the good, that's balanced.
Very balanced, and it looks both short-term and long-term. Like restraining defilements or conflicts in this life.
Dealing with the now.
And preventing those same defilements or conflicts in future lives. There's real foresight there.
That's thinking ahead. What about how the community relates to outsiders?
That's covered too. Rules are for compassion towards the lay people, the householders, Jina and Kumpaya.
Okay, outward focus.
And ND for cutting off support for those inside with evil wishes, Papijana Pakopakadaya. So external relations and internal integrity.
Wow. Holding both. What about, like, maintaining inspiration or the teachings themselves?
Yeah, that's crucial. A pair of aims is about inspiring confidence in those who aren't yet confident.
Bringing people in.
And the increasing confidence in those who already are confident. Building trust, basically.
Growing the base and deepening it.
Exactly. And the ultimate pair. It's for the establishment of the true teaching, the Dhamma, Saddhamma, Hithya.
The core philosophy.
And E for the support of the discipline, the Vinaya, Vinayanugahaya. The practical application.
Theory and practice.
Yeah.
That's incredibly comprehensive. A whole philosophy for a thriving community built on pairs.
It really is a robust blueprint.
Okay, so we've seen these pairs defining inner qualities and pairs defining community rules. But what about, us? How do we actually use this? Is there a practical method in these texts for dealing with all those unwholesome things we talked about at the start?
Yes, absolutely. And this is where the final set of sources really ties it all together. It brings it back to personal practice.
Good.
These texts consistently say that for this huge list of negative traits, and it is a long list.
Like the anger, resentment, jealousy.
All of those. Lust, hatred, delusion, the big three, plus anger, resentment, denigration, envy, jealousy, stinginess, deceit, fraud, obstinacy, contention, pride, excessive pride, intoxication, heedlessness.
Yeah.
It goes on.
Okay, that covers a lot of ground.
It really does. And for every single one of those, and also for whatever outcome you're aiming for, whether it's just understanding them or ending them, abandoning them, destroying them, making them disappear, achieving dispassion, cessation, giving them up, relinquishing them.
So basically, any level of dealing with these negative states.
Exactly. For all of that, the texts say 2 specific qualities must be developed, always the same 2.
Always the same 2. For that whole list, what are they?
The 2 qualities are samatha and vipassanā.
Samatha and vipassanā. Okay, what do those mean?
So samatha, that translates roughly as calmness or tranquility. It's about developing a state of mental quietude, deep concentration, settling the mind.
Okay, calm focus. Got it.
And vipassanā, that means insight, the ability to see things clearly, directly, as they truly are, with wisdom.
Insight, seeing reality.
Exactly. And this pairing, samatha and vipassanā, calm and insight, is presented as the universal antidote.
The antidote to all those negative states.
To all of them. It's the path shown to overcome all those defilements and achieve, freedom, clarity, all those positive outcomes we talked about.
Wow.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it? Why these 2, specifically? What does this constant pairing tell us about how they viewed a sort of holistic path to inner development?
That's a powerful conclusion. Calm and insight, not just one, but both together. What an incredible journey through these texts. It's so clear, isn't it? Whether you're looking at individual qualities or community rules or the actual path of practice, these ancient sources just keep emphasizing the power of pairs.
They really do.
It's not about some single magic bullet, but often this delicate balance, this interplay between 2 key things.
And it speaks volumes about the timelessness of it, I think. The fact that this structure, these binary ways of looking at things, have lasted for so long.
Yeah.
It suggests something fundamental about the human condition, maybe, and about what works for living well, living wholesomely, no matter the time or place. These dualities seem almost baked into reality.
That's a great way to put it. Baked into reality. So as you, our listeners, go about your week, maybe take a moment to consider the pairs in your own life. Think about your habits, your relationships, maybe the challenges you're facing. Can you see the dual forces at play? And thinking about what we discussed today, what 2 things might you need to cultivate, perhaps, to navigate them more skillfully? Something to ponder.